Hi, Grandad. Garden update number 2. We're starting in Dad's man cave in the shed. It stinks in here of onions because we did an onion harvest because all my onions flopped over and then we had a heavy rainfall. So they all had to come out the ground because we had rain and then a heat wave, rain and then a heat wave. And so I just didn't want them to flower from the climate stress. So this is yesterday's harvest. They'll be ready in 2 to 4 weeks. So I just labeled the line so I know when 2 and 4 weeks is for each string line. I would say excuse the mess in here, but everything's in containers now. This is all great granddad's tools. But anyway, back to the point. The onion's the most important part because it's the biggest harvest I ever done. Some are quite little, like this one, but then that one's a big one. So that's most of the little ones. But these are the same size as the ones these are bigger than the ones you get in the store. And then these ones are like the same size on this string line, and then some more little ones. But that's just string line 1 of 4 in here hanging to dry. And oh, we have a pantry little section now, but that's not important. That's boring. Let me walk out of this shed. And hopefully the rain isn't too heavy. Oh no, it's actually already stopped raining. The first time I filmed this, it was raining a little bit. Where do I start? I say bad-minded child over here. This is Dad's cat. She's mean to me. Ignore her. She'll be in the video loads because she's mean to me. These are the green ball onions. Each onion should make me a cabbage ball, but again, I have a massive slug, earwig and white butterfly problem. And so there is no guarantee of that. Ignore the helicopter. I can't do anything about that, and I'm not filming this again just because of a helicopter. I'm feeling very lazy and it is due to rain very soon. And my best friends will be in the garden soon, and I'm not gonna lie, I do love the boys. Anyway, the last of the iceberg lettuce, we've been harvesting it to eat and stuff, so that's why there's hardly any left. Wild lettuce, I've got different varieties here. Some look a bit dandelion-like, but that's apparently all really tasty. Always good to have a different variety. Well, lots of varieties really, different nutritional benefits from all the different varieties. So that's next to my brassicas, well, in between them. Brassicas are cabbage, kale, broccoli, cauliflower, not that you can see the cauliflower hiding. This is all tortoise food. It's rocket or arugula. Personally, not my preference. It's why I grow it for the tortoise, not that she eats it. She's ploughed through the cucumbers overnight. This is the spinach section for Mum. 2 different types of spinach, Apollo spinach and spinach beets. I'm not sure what the difference is. They all look the exact same to me and I can't tell which is which. So there's the spinach. I have to step back to show you the kale. Nice and flowered, but nice and healthy. And as you can see, we've had lots of harvests. And I'm ready for the next round. The next round, the 3 biggest ones I did from seed, and these ones here we got from the plant nursery. Some children get to go to McDonald's and get toys after operations. I got a trip to the best plant nursery ever to buy plants for the garden. These are my cherry tomatoes. They're massive now compared to the last time you've seen them. There's, I think, 6 plants in this area. Sorry, I thought I saw a butterfly in the corner of my eye. I was about to cry. We don't want no white butterflies here because they are a menace. But they are starting to ball. Let me see if I can figure out where a single little ball. There it is, little cherry tomatoes. They're all self-fertile, so I mean there's a lot of flowers, so I have high hopes, but they need fertilizing again in 5 days just to keep that going. Cauliflower section. It's very sad in this section. Very sad. So we got a big one at the back and a big one at the front. There is enough space for how many there wasn't enough space for how many I planted, sorry. But that's because we had a sacrificed one for the bugs. And as you can see, they literally ate it to the ground and it's not there, and they've worked on everything else. So yeah, we have broccoli florets growing. Super excited about that. They're doing really well. I still have to come out with giant tweezers. I use aquarium tweezers and a torch every night, 11:30, 1:30 midnight, 1:30, every evening. I'm out here for half an hour with a torch, just picking off all the slugs, earwigs and caterpillars that I can get my hands on. And the slugs, if they're an adult, unfortunately, they do get killed. And if they're a baby, they get rehomed into the compost, and I regret that because then the next night I have twice as many to remove. But they're the brassicas. So you got broccoli, cauliflower, kale, and then cabbage down there. That's the brassica section with tomatoes in between. Don't tell the plant people, you still shouldn't plant tomatoes and brassicas that close together. Still don't actually have any issues in terms of like disease, which is why they say they shouldn't do it, because they're bad companions, but oh well. These were happy, but the cat jumps off my new potato planter that I forgot to show you. This is new. There was supposed to be 2, but the second one came broken, so I sent it back, they replaced it, and then the replacement was even more broken. They just keep them in the sun, so they get sun damage, and then they get thrown around on a lorry, sun damaged, and the wood's too fragile, so by the time it comes, they fall apart. But she keeps jumping off of it and snapping this strawberry, but it's coming back. And same with that one, you can see where they've snapped it from jumping onto the fence. But my other strawberries are very happy, so I can't complain. We only lost 3 in the heat wave, so it wasn't the end of the world. This is just the compost section, because I didn't have the money yet to buy the soil. It's still like 115 to 30 pounds for a bag of soil, which is like £30 more than I paid per bag to do that entire side. That was like 3.5 bags, so I'm not impressed. We got some strawberries going red, so they'll be nice to harvest. I think there are Cambridge ones. I do regret not getting ever-bearing strawberries, so I'm going to get some more strawberry plants for the fence and put them in different places so we have a big strawberries. This is Mr. Chili Planter. I hope you're singing its theme tune in your head, because I'm singing it. But we got a new one from the nursery, and since we got it, it's grown me a pepper, so I'm not complaining. This is my one from seed. I pinched it off a couple of times just to get it to get nice and big. And then some more. So that's a Scotch bonnet, that's a Scotch bonnet. These are all Scotch bonnets. That's a Scotch bonnet. Slightly alarmed how yellow it is, so I'm going to fertilise it in the hope that it comes back. Ooh, come round the fence. She's a Scotch bonnet. This is my Hungarian yellow finger. She's just making me one there. The leaves of that petal just need to fall. But can I get a good angle on it? Oh, move the leaf, Megan. She's got a big one going there, and then Mr. Chili Pepper. Mr. Chili Pepper. Mr. Chili Pepper has not blushed at all. I'm very salty. All those chili peppers, and not one of them is even slightly ready. So I've got high hopes for when they are ready. They're just not ready yet. This is the patio that I laid. Don't tell the handyman, but mine's way better. But I did go to construction school, and maybe he's just a handyman, you never know. But he did mix everything himself. I was cheated. I did buy some slab layer, and I did buy hardcore. He didn't really do that. The corn, the planter for the neighbours' children, I love it, just to bring them the joy of having a harvest. So we got, the lettuce is finally grown out. These are all spring onions. I mean, some of them are a wee bit too close together, but we can do some thinning. Spinach in this line. This is all radish. All of those things will be ready in 8 weeks, so they can harvest that. 11th of August is when is the 6-week markers, when it should be big enough but light enough for me to carry it. If not, they may have to come here. I'm not She-Hulk anymore. Oh, demon child. Dudum, 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 dudum. She's so mean to me. These ones look sad again from jumping up at the fence, but they're coming back alive. She just can't help herself, destroys everything. But she's not the only killer animal in our family. Wait till you see the cucumbers. We won't talk about those. And look at her now. She took herself to bed, this little demon child. This is Taniqua, the tortoise, or AK Baby Badness. Also Dad's pet. There's a common theme here. I'm sure you'll pick up on it. Dad's pet's bad-minded. My pet's lovely. So this is just the planters as they stand, but it's because I'm also walking the other end of the garden. Brambles are doing great, nice, lots of red ones. They need harvesting, but it's always intermittently raining, and I'm not really harvesting soft fruit in the rain. Too many bugs. I don't like bugs. So I've got some spring onions on the go. They're planted in the same bed as my other brassicas. These were Savoy cabbage, but they're so behind from the insect damage that they're just ruining them. But apparently slugs do not like onion, so they are planted in between onions in the hope that they will survive to get to a mature phase. But the brambles again. And then look what the tortoise did. It's bad enough that I've got slug problems, but now she's knocking pots over just to eat it. And I don't think she understands cucumber seeds are expensive. £2.49p a packet. £2.49p. Oh, this has been staked. Staked, squeezed, trellised, tied. Some of those words. Maybe all of them. Actually, since it's done that, it's actually got all this nice new growth down low. And it's stopped harbouring so many slugs because Dad's been weeding regularly for me to... That so bothers me. And just to get to that one plant pot, I have to navigate through all of that just to get down here to pick that back up. Salty is not the word. Maybe spicy, because I don't think salty is quite strong enough. Here's where the white onions were, but as you can see from the first string line I showed you, we pulled loads out the ground. These ones just aren't ready yet. Look how big the carrots are getting. They're like a lucky dip when you pull them out. You have no clue how long they're going to be or how big at all. But I am having problems with, for example, here, keeping them below the soil surface. As soon as they stick out the soil, they start to go green. It's not bad. It's just obviously the green bit is less appealing. But, oh, get that one out of the view of the camera. But there is a few that are getting big. So yeah, we did a big harvest the other day with the boys from across the neighbour's house, sorry. Because we don't eat a lot of carrots here, so I did the carrots a bit stupidly because we don't really eat them. 1 second, sorry, there is grass all over my arm from sticking my hand in that bed, and bugs, and I still have grandma's genetics. This is where the red onions were, and again you saw that string line. More carrots, the good pumpkins that haven't been destroyed. So these ones are the non-stunted ones, and for some reason the stunted ones, they're growing but so slowly, and I think it's because the ground here is clay. These ones have got eaten, so there is one butternut squash on this whole side. I'm very upset about that. Apple trees got nice little abundance. We're going to have to start pruning those though, because it's just too many. What on earth is just blown away? I heard it and I'm looking like, what's changed? Oh, the cat's inspected for me and I've realised it's my propagation box. So, oh, that one needs to come out soon. As soon as it snaps like that, my research has told me that it won't stand itself back up and it can be pulled, which is very frustrating because one strong wind, and I mean I lost quite a few after a couple of rainfalls anyway. More carrots. These ones were a bit behind. Can you believe the audacity? You plant rainbow carrots and they all came out orange. Not a single yellow, not a single red. Just disappointing. Ah. ladybug. I might have to research whether they're good or bad for the garden. I know the earthworms are amazing. There's been loads of earthworms in the onion bed recently. And these onions, I mean, I've got high hopes that they're going to be quite big ones. The bell peppers, I don't like bell peppers. I don't like pepper, like that kind of pepper. Don't mind chili peppers, but don't like sweet peppers. They're doing really, really well considering how close and how late I planted them. Next to the brassicas, another bad companion that is. The red brassicas are on fire, so that is tennis ball size, the ball inside that one, the cabbage head. This one is it a size 5 football? No, I don't know, a children's football size, so just for concept. That's my hand. That leaf, Megan. Oh dear. That's my hand. And that's the crown. So it's huge, it's bigger than the stores. And then, what side of the trellis is that? So there is one butternut squash on that side of the trellis that survived. That one is dead or dying, unfortunately. And then these are all crown prince, and this is a crown prince squash. They're doing magic. They're a bit small in the leaf size compared to the pumpkin over there that you can see in the background, and I will agree with those ones as well. These are all crown prince, but they're doing okay. Lemonade blueberries aren't quite ready yet. These will go nice pink colour when they're ready. We've never had a decent harvest of those because the plant's so baby, but hopefully soon. We've been blueberry harvesting off the main blueberry plant that we've had for years, so there's hardly any left on that one. But we did buy this new one. This blue jay will grow huge, so we'll have a blueberry tree, which is exciting. And then the asparagus is doing well. There's 3 different types in there. The reason why it looks a bit sad is because it did go through a bit of a transplant shock, because I grew the crown indoors until it was of substantial size before transplanting, and apparently that was a bad idea. But she's happy now. She's got some new growth coming in just there, nice and happy. This variety's got some new growth, and it did actually pop me out an asparagus spear, which is hilarious because it's not asparagus season yet. That's March to May. The volunteer peas from Marks and Spencer that germinated in the fridge. We always take a volunteer. And then I've actually had to come in the plant bed for this one. So these are the crown prince, but that is a watermelon, and that one there is a watermelon. And it looks as though 2 of them have survived last night, which is amazing. And it looks as though one of these got eaten last night, which is less amazing, considering how many crushed eggshells are in that area. And we now have a grape, little green grape. And yeah, it's yellowing. I'm not sure why. I hope it's just transplant shock, because like this top part of it is doing amazing and it's grown some new leaves, but then that part is dying and I'm not sure why. But my original grapes, I mean, that's the biggest we've ever got grapes, so I am going to need to fertilize that more. The cucumber destroyer, Taniqua, Mrs. Badness. Should call you the cucumber slayer, like out of Shark Tale. Not impressed at all. She even knows we're talking about her. Look at her turning her head like, me? No. Anyway, back to the productive parts. So the garden is coming in lovely. It still needs to give another de-weed, but hopefully in another 2 to 3 weeks we'll have enough growth on that pumpkin that it reaches over its trellis, because from this angle you can see I have a lot of trellises. And the sun's just come out, which is just killing me. So I definitely need to go inside now before I start cooking. Still got Grandma's wonky genetics. But I did get the diagnosis now, so I do have EDS, and I've got to see a couple of different specialists about that. But that's the garden as it stands, with the grass coming back in nice as well. But it doesn't just stop there. I said I had another onion harvest, and that is in my potting shed. So this is the first string line. We've took loads off the string line because if every time we need to cook with an onion, we just grab one that's not quite ready yet, because these ones won't store for long-term storage unless they completely dry out. Well, the greens dry out and the outer skin does, or they won't survive long-term storage. Oops, sorry, it's the lawn aerator on the fence, shed door, sorry, that noises. But if I open the shed properly, where's the thing? Sorry, I don't like spiders, so I'm now using the torchlight to hide from spiders. And then I open my shed. I have a backup string line from that harvest, all curing. Everywhere stinks of onion. I wouldn't highly recommend anyone to grow onion unless you really like it, because I mean, these all had to be ripped out the ground nice and early, even though it's not even onion harvesting time when these ones were ready. But I didn't want to chance it because the weather's just so unpredictable, and you get it wrong, they flower, and then you can't dry them out for long-term storage because they won't store. So, I mean, this string line has 38 on, not that you can see them when I move the camera that quickly. So this has 38, all my organic fertilizers, and then the indoor one, because I still have all my indoors. This one's only got 14. And then this one, if I can get the camera to show it properly, is another 35 onions, and then all the seed trays ready for next year. For the outdoors is all the top 3. I've only got one shelf left of indoor plant pots because I don't really do it anymore. Oh, that was my back. Stalker / Dad's demon child again. But here's doing far better. So those have all come back and they're crowning now. So I will get those to be cabbages. I also did some research, in how to avoid the white butterflies that keep laying their eggs all over my broccoli. Especially in this nice sunny weather, they just fly in, lay their eggs and leave. And then I'm left with the aftermath of their caterpillar children eating my broccoli. And it's very frustrating. But apparently they dislike a red cabbage because they can't camouflage their babies, because the babies are green like the colour of broccoli. So next year I may exclusively only grow red brassicas, because it doesn't seem worthwhile to not grow the red ones, because these are only slug damaged and earwig damaged. Everything else is literally fighting for its life. And I'm tired of having to keep buying nematodes, because as much as nematodes are great because they allow me to say that the garden is still organic because it's biological warfare, it's very frustrating. So it's like £15 per application, well, per packet, for the size of my raised beds. And then for the slug one, I have to get the like £28 one because I have to do the whole lawn as well. And then it doesn't help that these planters, because I haven't got the soil yet, so like the middle section of all of these planters is all compost. So yeah, it's very, very stressful, but we're getting there. In fact, I think you missed the butterfly. I don't think I got the camera there quick enough, but she's just come from one of my brassicas, so I now need to go and check for eggs. So I'll sign this video off here, because yeah, it's getting quite bright now as well, so I've got to put my special hat on to stay in the garden in the sun. And hopefully next time I send you a video, even though I said this in the last video, I would like there to be 2 potato planters behind this bench up here. Once my finger's out the way, it'll go back into focus. And I would like this area to be sorted, and maybe some irrigation so that I don't have to keep this big ugly hose all the way winded out to water the entire garden. It would be nice to have it all on irrigation. These irrigation lines need cleaning, so I got to attach the hose later and flood them with water. But hopefully all will be well. But I'll keep you updated as and when it happens. But right now I'm going to quickly rescue the cucumbers and then hide from the sun. So I shall see you soon, probably in another video in a couple of months. There's a long way till November when I actually do get to see you. So I'll keep the timeline going so that you can see the garden as and when it comes. Oh, before I forget as well, Uncle Dean's been giving me his onion and garlic tips. So hopefully next year I'll have some garlic in. It probably won't be ready because it's I think 18 months for garlic. So now would have been the perfect time to plant it, and then it would be ready next year for the harvest. But I just don't have the soil, so next time. Oh, and we did the window. There is now plants in the window that just need transplanting. So happy times there too.